going to be completely honest with all of you really quick and just say that I took a break from Star Citizen back in February because it kind of felt like the momentum that they had built up was fading. And after all the content we saw in 2025, the start of 2026 seemed quieter than we were used to. Obviously, I was aware that that was how they had described this year was going to be, so I decided to just step back for a few weeks and let the game cook a little bit longer. But I was wrong because there's been so many changes and new additions since I last played. There's so much information that I missed and so much more coming out as I'm making this video, so I figured this would be a perfect opportunity to recap everything that's happened since my last video, and also look forward at what is coming in the next few weeks. In case you missed my last video, I'd strongly recommend going back and watching that one. And before we start, I do just want to say there is a free fly event starting this Thursday, May 14th, with the start of DefenseCon, which we'll talk a little bit more about shortly. I also wanted to say that I decided to start a Discord server. It's still in the early phases, but I figured it would be the best way for me to connect with my community outside of these videos. And one last thing is that only about 0.3% of viewers are subscribed to the channel. If you enjoy this kind of content, subscribing and turning on notifications really helps support the channel. Anyways, let's get into the video. First, I just want to start off by saying if I get anything wrong in this video, please let me know. Now, while I was gone, CIG disclosed back in early March that they suffered a cyber attack on January 21st. Attackers got into some backup systems and accessed basic account info like names, email addresses, usernames, and dates of birth. No financial info or passwords were affected, but the disclosure came almost 6 weeks after the incident, which a lot of players were not happy about. But if you haven't already, it's always a good idea to change your RSI password and turn on two-factor authentication. Also worth noting is the crowdfunding total is now sitting at around $969 million at the time of recording this video, which means we're on pace to cross $1 billion sometime this year. Whatever your feelings are on that, it's a wild number for a game that's still technically in alpha. Also, Alpha 4.7 didn't just drop, but it, again, fundamentally changed the foundation of how we interact with Star Citizen. That patch finally delivered the inventory rework, alongside fabricators and blueprints that brought the first iteration of player crafting into the verse. We also saw the expansion of the Nix system, specifically the industrial Keeger belt, with QV breaker stations. And for those who like a bit of environmental danger, the new Icy Valacar variant roaming the breaker stations has turned those interiors into actual survival horror encounters. This is what gets us to where we are today, looking at the 4.8 patch report we got a few days ago. Now, we have to address something that I've seen a lot of people talking about recently, which is wipe rumors. With Alpha 4.8 currently in PTU testing, everyone is trying to read between the lines and figure out what's going to happen. While CIG has not officially confirmed a long-term persistence wipe for the live release, what we do know is that crafted gear stats and refined ore qualities are expected to reset to their default values, since the current backend isn't quite ready to save those custom quality variables through a major patch. Whether this turns into a full credit and ship wipe for live is still the big question. I personally don't think we'll get a full wipe, but given the scale of changes with things like the transport system, hangar services, command modules, and more, a lot of players are preparing for a clean slate. One of the headline features of 4.8 is the Tactical Strike Groups. This is really our first dedicated team-based PvE combat edition. In this mission, you and your crew come to the aid of a People's Alliance Idris that has stumbled across the Shattered Blade hiding out in an old QV extraction station in the Nix system. You'll defend the Idris, assault heavily armored power relays, and navigate a trench run through the asteroid's interior, and also conduct FPS operations to rescue a captured pilot inside the station on foot. The whole thing culminates in a final ship-to-ship confrontation against a Vandal Mauler that the Shattered Blade summons in. This isn't a one-time kind of event, but it's a new benchmark for the kind of sandbox content CIG is building as we head towards 1.0. This is another reason why I wanted to get my Discord server up and running, because these types of missions are designed for coordinated group play, and whether you're in an org or not, it's always good to have some people who are looking to do this type of content. But the feature that is going to really change fleet gameplay for every org is ship hangar services. For the first time, certain capital and large ships in 4.8 will be able to offer repairs, refueling, and rearming to any ship that lands in their bays, provided the host ship has the necessary materials sitting aboard. This first release brings the feature to the Carrack, Idris, Polaris, Starlancer TAC, 600i, and 890 Jump. This effectively turns these ships into mobile staging grounds, allowing your fleet to operate in deep space without ever needing to go to a major landing zone. And for the veterans who have been waiting a decade for it, the Drake Caterpillar is finally getting its detachable command module functionality in 4.8. So you can leave your cargo hull one place while you break off and fly somewhere else in the module, or use it as a makeshift escape pod when things go wrong. Now, we have to talk about the massive shift in the event calendar. This year, the UEE Navy has pulled Invictus back to the Sol system, leaving Stanton open for Drake DefenseCon 2956. running from May 14th through the 27th at the Bevitt Convention Center in Area 18. CIG is running a Twitch drop campaign during DefenseCon, and I also plan to be streaming during this time. So if you want to tune in and also get some free stuff, head over to my Twitch, which will be linked in the description below. But the real shocker came from the 4.8 patch report, where Jared stated that there will be no CitizenCon this year, not in person or digital, because the company is in a final sprint for Squadron 42.
And of course, as if anybody could forget, Squadron 42. There's a lot we got going on for the remainder of this year, and for that reason, we've made the decision not to host a CitizenCon event for 2026, either in person, digital, direct, or otherwise. It's a decision born out of how important these two games are to everyone on both sides of these projects. And while we'll certainly miss getting to meet so many of you at once, we do encourage you to check out the Star Citizen World Tour that's well underway, because we always enjoy every opportunity we get to meet you and hear your stories.
And Chris Roberts himself also talked about how other games, specifically GTA 6, are affecting them. In an interview with Roberts on This Week in Video Games, he admitted that while the goal is to release Squadron 42 by the end of 2026, he won't 100% guarantee it because they're carefully watching Rockstar's release window for GTA 6, which is currently set for November 19th. Of course, DefenseCon would not be complete without the ships. The full lineup of new ships is the Aegis Tiburon, Drake Pitbull, Misk Starlight, Origin M80, and the long-awaited Drake Ironclad and Ironclad Assault, both of which go flight ready on May 14th. But we also got the reveal of the Anvil Odin battlecruiser. CIG has confirmed that the Odin is twice the volume of the Javelin, making it the largest player-ownable ship in the game. We just got our first look at the Odin yesterday, and the scale is just insane. Access to its initial purchase is being restricted to members of an Odin Founders Club selected by in-game metrics or by submitting a concierge ticket, and going forward, this is also being labeled as the last concept ship sale ever for Star Citizen. Looking further into the 4.8 cycle, the content keeps coming long after the initial patch. Alpha 4.8.1 is set to bring additional Defend location missions, followed by Alien Week in 4.8.2, and the return of Xenothreat in 4.8.3. Chris confirmed that Squadron 42 releases first, and only after that campaign is out will they make the final push for Star Citizen 1.0. I'm officially back, and I do want to apologize for the absence. I was just very busy with life, but I'm going to get back to my regular schedule. I appreciate the patience, and I look forward to talking more in the new Discord. Again, the link is in the description down below, and if you're curious about the game and decide to pick it up for yourself, or try the game out during the Free Fly event later this week, make sure to check out the link down below for more information. But as always, I'd like to hear what you guys think. Do you think that this year has been slower? Are you happy with the current state of the game? What are your thoughts on Squadron 42's release date? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon so you don't miss any future uploads, and I'll see you guys in the next one.